Hey, what is up guys, my name's Rizzial, and today I'll be bringing you a new tutorial on how to build an underwater house. Now for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not actually going to build this house in the water as it would be very dark on camera, so instead I've cleared out an area at the bottom of the water that I will fill later on once I've built the house. Now you can choose to do what I did here and clear out a space in the water, or you can go straight ahead and simply build it in the water, which honestly shouldn't be too bad in survival if you have Aqua Affinity Depth Strider and some sponges. But if you do choose to build it like I'm doing in this tutorial, then I suggest clearing out a 25 by 21 area of the water like I have here in order to fit the house in. So now with all that being said, let's get right into building it. First we'll start with building a circular room which will sit at the center of the house. So using cyan hardened clay, build a 3 wide circle as shown here that goes up 4 blocks at the center of the area you're working in. Then we'll place 3 layers of quartz blocks on top of the clay. Now make a 1 block smaller circle of quartz at the top of this. And then make a 3 by 3 square above this last circle, which will have a 1 block gap in the middle that we will place a trapdoor in for the entrance. Next we'll add in windows at the top of this quartz section, so at the center of each side replace 3 blocks with yellow stained glass. Then at the bottom we'll remove 2 layers of cyan stained clay at the center of each side, as these will each connect to a room later on. Now go inside the room and at the first row of quartz blocks fill in the ceiling except for the middle block where we will place in a trapdoor. Then connect quartz blocks down to the ground from the trapdoor and place ladders on them. Now climb up the ladders, and in this little waterlock entrance room atop here also place quartz blocks and ladders to connect the outer trapdoor, and then this will finish up this part of the house. Next we will build 2 symmetrical rooms at either sides of this circular room. So first come over to the left side of this front wall and go over 3 blocks and place a 5 tall quartz wall here. Now in front of this wall build another quartz wall that is 4 blocks tall. Then from the back wall go over 3 blocks from the same spot and build the same 5 tall wall and 4 tall wall in front of it. Next, add a block off the tops of the 2 taller walls, and then add 5 blocks across the top of these blocks so they connect and form an arch. Now come back to the front of the quartz arch we made and place 3 quartz blocks off to the left side of it. Also add 3 blocks at the back of the arch as well, and then build another of this same arch from the ends of these blocks. Next we'll build 2 cyan hardened clay arches in between the quartz arches. So go over and out a block from one of the quartz arches and build an arch that follows the same pattern but is 1 block higher than the quartz one. And then we can simply build the other clay arch next to the other quartz arch. Now once we have both clay arches in place, we'll place yellow stained glass in between the clay arches that sits 1 block below them. Next we will copy this section over to the right side of the circular room. So begin by going over 3 blocks from the front right wall and then build the same exact quartz, cyan, and glass arches like we did on the other side. Next we will close off the outer walls of these 2 sections. So come to either the left or right side and connect the bottom layer of this arch with quartz blocks. Now fill in the remaining gap above this with yellow stained glass, and then afterwards we can do this on the other side as well. Lastly, for these 2 sections, we'll add an extra layer of quartz underneath the top layer of the inner quartz arches. Next, we'll connect the circular room with the 2 rooms we made at the sides. So starting at the front, go to the inner part of the quartz arch on either the left or right side, and place out 2 layers of cyan clay at each side that is 3 blocks tall. Now extend both these clay walls out 3 blocks towards the front. And then connect these 2 ends with a 5 long clay wall that sits a block in front of them. Next, place 3 blocks at the top center of this front wall. Also add another block at the top center of this, and then extend it back so it connects to the building. And since this is symmetrical, we can now come over to the back side and build the same exact clay walls here as well. Next, we can come back to the front, and at this 5 long clay wall, knock out 4 blocks at the center of this to the shape shown here, and fill it in with yellow stained glass for a window. Also using yellow stained glass, we can then fill in the remaining gaps in the roof of this clay section as I do here, and then afterwards we can add the same glass to the back as well. And lastly, to close up the exterior, we will add quartz blocks between the arch and building here at both sides. Next, let's head inside to edit the interior. So come to the ground level and start by replacing all the sand or whatever that's here with prismarine blocks for the floor. Then we'll add in the lights using sea lanterns. So starting from one of the larger rooms at either the left or right side, placing sea lanterns as I do here for both sides. Now go up the ladder to the small entrance room and place sea lanterns below each of the windows here. And with those in place, that will finish up the main components of the interior. So as always, I'll leave any furniture and decoration of the house up to you guys. However, I'll quickly show you how mine looks as an example. But that is going to be all for this underwater house tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more underwater houses, be sure to let me know and drop a like and I'll definitely continue to do more. But with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Later guys, bye bye.